Hi class, Todd here. Week 5. This week you're going to be learning about managing project teams and outsourcing. Managing project teams, this is going to build upon what you learned last week about leadership. And of course, outsourcing is about being able to bring in outside expertise onto your project. And not every project has the resources it needs, so you'll need to outsource. Those are the two big concepts this week. So again, the assignments are reading chapters 11 and chapter 12. You're going to read a PowerPoint online. You have two assignments. Obviously, just participate on the discussion boards, and then you'll end out the week with a quiz. So, managing project teams. You're going to learn about the 5-stage team development model. You as a project manager need to put together the right team for the project. Many times teams don't succeed because it's not the right mix of people, the resources, or the expertise. The 5-stage team development model, which is forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning, you're going to learn about that obviously this week. It's really all about building high-performance project teams. You're going to learn about how to recruit project members, how to conduct project team meetings, and those come with establishing ground rules and tracking decision processes in your project team meetings. You really want to set expectations as a project manager for your team so it can be successful. Of course, you're going to identify situational factors that affect your teams. You're going to examine the team environment and its many pitfalls. You may get along with everybody. As I said, you're supposed to be the hero and the slave on your project, and people will respect you for that. However, other team members don't play together, and sometimes they don't respect each other. You need to recognize those quickly and deal with those situations. Who is working well on the team, who needs a little assistant on the team, and who is just not cutting it. You're going to learn how to deal with those situations. And they're hard to deal with, especially when you're dealing with highly trained, highly skilled people who really don't play well with other people. So you'll learn how to figure that out, or at least learn the best methods to do that. Next, we're going to illustrate the best practices on outsourcing your project work. Projects don't always have the resources or the expertise needed to complete the project or to complete the team. You're going to learn about the advantages and the disadvantages of outsourcing. The advantages are that the project can get done faster. There's a high level expertise that you may not have had. Those are great advantages. Obviously, the disadvantages are that there's a lot more coordination on a project, and that there's a certain amount of loss of control. And, of course, conflicts. Some of your team members may have some expertise, but not all the expertise. And when you bring in outside outsourcing some of that expertise, there's going to be some conflict. So you need to recognize that those are disadvantages. Of course, you're going to learn about the best practices in defining for outsourcing, which is defining the requirements for your outsource, establishing some conflict management protocols, and frequent reviews and status updates are also needed with your outsourced requirements. And lastly, we're going to learn negotiation. And you're going to learn the 4 keys associated with effective negotiation. Your project managers, will have to always be negotiating with different stakeholders at different times to keep your project on schedule. Whether it's dealing with negotiating with a team member who needs to take some time off, and how are you going to get their part of the project done if they need that. Also, you might be negotiating with suppliers who either are charging a high price or they can't get what you need. You need to be able to understand how to negotiate those situations. And usually negotiation comes up because there's a problem. And you will learn how to separate people from the problem. Helping the teams focus on the issues and the problem at hand and not on each other. That is key to negotiation. Understanding how to recognize that, breaking down the issues and not breaking down the people. Obviously, you're going to learn how to separate interests from positions, which again means separating issues from egos. Some people draw a line in the sand. You need to know whether you have to cross that line or not. And then finally, concepts for dealing with unreasonable people. There's a methodology called BATNA, the best alternative to negotiated agreement. Obviously, you want to try to work out win-win situations all the time. And the BATNA method will help you focus on whether that's a right protocol or not a right one to use. So those are the issues this week. Start, obviously, reading the chapters, get going on this, and we will see you coming up soon. Thanks.